Good morning, students. In our today's lecture, we are going in detail to discuss in detail the contribution of some of the major romantic poets. William Blake is the first true great romantic poet whose Songs of Innocence that came in 1779 and Songs of Experience that came in 1794 are startlingly original. The appeal of these songs is direct and immediate. Means William Blake is supposed to be the first romantic poet. His two books of poetry, Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience, the poems he composed, there was a directness and immediate impression. For Blake, the only reality is the active life of creative imagination. He is of the view that the world of innocence is without fear and repression. But when hypocrisy and knavery enter into the world of innocence, the state of innocence is lost. Blake also expressed his profound faith in the dignity of man. Then, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is considered to be the leader of the Romantic movement in England. His friendship with Coleridge resulted in the publication of lyrical ballads in 1798. The two poets decided to collaborate, the one to deal convincingly with incidents and agents, in part at least supernatural, the other with subject chosen from ordinary life. Wordsworth wrote the famous preface to the lyrical ballads in 1800. He attacked the gaudiness and inane phraseology of much current poetic diction. He pointed out that all good poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. He also declared poetry is the breath and spirit of knowledge. The first and the last of knowledge, immortals as the heart of man. His important poems include Tintern Abbey, Ode, Intimations of Immortality, Michael, and the Prelude. Another important poet of Romantic movement is S.T. Coleridge. His The Rime of the Ancient Mariner and The Unfinished Christabel are the finest examples of supernatural genre. Christabel is richly suggestive tale which has echoes of the folk tale. Kubla Khan, another poem, describes beautifully how the principles of simultaneous destruction and creation in nature determine the contours of life. These poems explore the complex world of human psyche and emotions. He published his great work Biographia Literaria in 1817. It is a landmark in the history of Romantic criticism. Then comes Lord Byron. Byron belongs to the second generation of the Romantic poets. His major poems include Hours of Idleness came in 1807, Childe Harold's Pilgrimage in 1812, The Prisoner of Chillon 1816, The Vision of Judgment in 1882, and Don John from 1890 to 1824. Don John is considered to be the greatest in satirical poems. It is a kind of Picardskian novel. His poetry displays an epigrammatic quality and great vivacity. Another important poet is P.B. Shelley, who blossomed at a very early age and died young. His first important poem is Queen Mab, which came in 1813. The Revolt of Islam in 1817. It preaches bloodless revolution. His other major works include Julian and Medallo, published in 1824, The Cenci in 1819, Prometheus Unbound in 1820, Adonis in 1821. Adonis is a famous elegy in John Keats. His lyricism is incomparable in his Ode to the West Wind. Here he makes the natural force of the wind into an enhancing metaphor for political revolution. The poet maintains a firm faith in the victory of man. His prose work, Defense of Poetry, that was written in 1821 and published in 1840, was written in response to Thomas Love Peacock's charge that poetry had become an obsolete art. Shelley boldly declared that poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. His poetry came under attack after his death. Matthew Arnold described him as a beautiful and ineffectual angel, beating in the void his luminous wings in vain. However, after 1960, critics like M.H. Abraham and Harold Ballum emphasized the poetic merit of his verse. His best work is marked by racism, sublimity, idealism, and intense faith in the nature of man. And finally, John Keats. John Keats is the youngest of Romantic poets who died very young. His poems include Isabella or the Port of Basil, published in 1818, Hyperion, again in 1818, The Eve of St. Agnes, 1819, Lamia, again in 1819, The Fall of Hyperion, and his great odes include To a Nightingale, On a Grecian Urn, To Psyche, On Melancholy, and To Autumn. All were nearly written in 1819. He expressed his belief in the sovereign power of beauty. His love of nature is intense. His style is enchanting one, attractive one, captivating one. That's all about the poets of Romantic era. With this, our section literary history comes to an end. Thank you very much.